Blog Talk Radio. Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to Franchise Interviews. For over 6 years, Franchise Interviews has been giving an up-close, behind-the-scenes look at franchising and entrepreneurship. Listen to interviews with franchisers, franchisees, franchise authors, franchise experts, and attorneys. And now, welcome your host, Marty McDermott, and Franchise Interviews.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to a very special edition of Franchise Interviews, where for over 6 years now, we've been asking the entrepreneurs one-on-one. I'm your host, Marty McDermott, and I'm the president of Franchise Interviews, and we have a great show today. We're meeting with Meredith Hillman, vice president and account director of ePrize. We're also meeting with Annica Kreider, the vice president of brand development for Mellow Mushroom. And for 39 years, Mellow Mushroom Pizza Bakers has been serving up fresh, stone-baked pizzas to order in an eclectic, art-filled, and family-friendly environment. We're going to talk to Meredith and Annica about that in just a moment on Franchise Interviews. So stick around because we've got a great show.
Are you one of those special people who are willing to go after your dreams and goals? Are you ready to fulfill that dream of owning your own business with the security of a proven brand? The opportunity to take control of your future and own a Rita's Italian Ice franchise is within your reach.
Rita's is seeking success-oriented individuals who are ready to make a change in their life, and Rita's offers unparalleled training and support to assure your success. And did you know the frozen treat industry is a recession-proof industry, and there are Rita's in 23 states currently with 540 stores open. Rita's Italian Ice has been around for 25 years and is listed as a top-performing franchise by the Wall Street Journal.
Now here's the really good part. Rita's Italian Ice is a unique and amazing taste treat. It's smoother than a snow cone, and it combines ice with real fresh fruit. The real fruit adds dramatically to the taste, and it comes in over 40 flavors. The ice and fruit are mixed on site and made fresh daily, and it is delicious.
You'll want to know more about this exciting and successful franchise opportunity. Go to www.ownaritas.com and get all your questions answered. That's www.ownaritas.com to take control of your dreams and future today. You don't want to wait any longer to be a part of this adventure. www.ownaritas.com.
Are you looking for a franchise that delivers? Businesses will always need shipping, and for more than 25 years, loyal customers have depended on Unishippers for reliable savings and exceptional customer service. Unishippers is focused on just one thing: helping small and medium-sized businesses save time and money on all their shipping needs. And as the largest reseller of complete shipping services in the country, we have the buying power to ensure that we succeed. The Unishippers franchise offers low startup costs, no equipment or real estate required because they're not retail, residual income, and a quality of life and work-life balance. For more information on becoming a Unishippers franchisee, go to www.unishippers.com and click Franchise Opportunities, or call Franchise Development at 801-708-5822. That's 801-708-5822.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to a very special edition of Franchise Interviews, where for over 6 years now, we've been asking the entrepreneurs one-on-one. I'm your host, Marty McDermott. I'm the president of Franchise Interviews, and as we were saying earlier, we have a great show today. We're meeting with Meredith Hillman, the vice president and account director of ePrize. We're also meeting with Annica Kreider, the vice president of brand development for Mellow Mushroom. And for over 39 years, Mellow Mushroom Pizza Bakers has been serving up fresh, stone-baked pizzas to order in an eclectic, art-filled, and family-friendly environment. Hi, Meredith. Hi, Annica. How you doing? Welcome to the show.
Hello. How are you?
I am doing well. Thank you for coming on the show. And is that Annica's voice or is that Meredith?
That was Meredith.
That was Meredith.
Hey,
okay.
this is Annica here.
Hi,
This
Annica.
is Annica
Okay,
too.
that's great.
Hey,
I can kind of
good morning.
distinguish a bit between the voices, so
Yes.
that's fantastic. You know, we always like to ask our guests where you're calling from today. So, Meredith, I'll start with you.
I am calling from Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh, great. How's the weather there today, Meredith?
It's actually sunny and 80.
Nice. It's the same here. We're only one state away from you, so we're in Pennsylvania, so that's fantastic.
Oh,
Annica, how about
we're
yourself?
neighbors.
Yeah, we are. We're neighbors. How about
Great.
yourself,
I'm
Annica? Where are
calling
you calling?
from Atlanta, Georgia.
Ah, great. How's the weather there today, Annica?
Beautiful, gorgeous, hot and sunny.
That's great. Is that where the corporate headquarters is for Mellow Mushroom, Annica?
Yes, it is. It's where we
Okay.
started, and our headquarters are still here.
That's fantastic. I thought, maybe we could start with you, Annica. Maybe you can describe the history of the brand Mellow Mushroom. It seems like, as I was going through the Internet, there's an interesting story.
Yeah, there is an interesting story. We're a very eclectic type of brand, if you will. We're almost 40 years old, which we're really proud of,
Great.
obviously, in the restaurant business. Yes,
Of course.
to have that kind of longevity is something to be proud of, we feel like. So we'll be 40 years old later
great.
this fall. And we were started here in Atlanta by actually 3 college students who really just felt like they couldn't find a good slice of pizza around town, and so they felt they would make their own. And then the next thing you know, they were on to something. And now here we sit almost 40 years later, and 2 of them are actually still involved in the business.
Wow, that's
which
great.
is really, a kind of a unique thing that you don't see a lot of. But they're still involved, 2 of them, and we have 154 units now in 18 states. So
wow.
Things have grown, obviously, dramatically, but, things have changed. The brand has had kind of an evolution in terms of, the size of the locations. I mean, the original location was just a tiny little place here in downtown Atlanta, and now they're quite a bit bigger, more elaborate, and filled with art and things like that. But ultimately, really, the commitment to the food has not changed, and a lot of the original recipes still hold true, and so we're still very committed to the quality of the product that we serve.
And what states are you mostly in the southern states right now, Annica?
We are, yes, that's right. Our highest concentration, just like, I would say fairly typical to a lot of franchise concepts, we kind of radiate out from where we began.
Exactly. Right.
You can kind of start to draw concentric circles around where you started. So we're primarily in the southeast. We do have a location in Oregon. We have a few locations in Colorado, several in Texas, a few in Arizona, about to open in Nebraska actually later this week. So we are expanding out, but definitely our highest concentration is in the southeast.
So it's kind of mushrooming, no pun intended, right? It's
Exactly. That's right. I know, it's so easy. We say that all the time.
Exactly. I couldn't resist, right? That's fantastic.
Exactly.
Here's the trick question. What's your favorite? I mean, when you go into a Mellow Mushroom, what do you look for when you go in one? Because I know you've been in them many times.
Yes, many, many times. I eat a lot of pizza. A couple things just of interest. My favorite pizza is the Philosopher's Pie. It's called. It's my favorite. It's got a lot of different tastes going on with.
And what a cool
steak
name too, Annica.
Yes, exactly.
One of the things I noticed is part of the brand, isn't it? Is the names of the pizzas. I just thought it was very clever.
Yeah, we have a lot of really, really unique products, and take a lot of time and interest in naming them, things that are very unique. So that's my favorite thing on the core menu. And then also one thing that we do at Mellow Mushroom is we allow each location to have a few items that are unique to that location. So, it may be that it's based on some sort of regional flavor that's important,
right?
Or could be something that was a family kind of treat to the owner, or something that a guy in the kitchen made up that just happened to be something really unique and interesting. So for me, it's always fun as I go to different Mellows to try one of the unique items.
And that's interesting. I found it interesting about the franchise as well is that it is some there is some customization to that particular area which I thought was very fascinating, because that doesn't always happen in franchising. But I think it's a great idea to do that, because of course the southern states aren't always the same as up in the Northeast and things like that. So I thought that was very clever. That Mellow Mushroom.
Yeah, exactly. It allows you to kind of account for those regional taste preferences, and also that sort of entrepreneurial spirit that franchisees tend to have. It allows them to have a little bit of fun and play a little bit. They can still lean on us for our expertise in the core menu, but it gives them an opportunity to have a little fun themselves.
Absolutely. I think that's fantastic. Meredith, let's talk a little bit about ePrize, and what does ePrize do?
Yeah, hi, how are you?
Good.
So ePrize is an interactive engagement agency.
Okay.
So ePrize has been around since 1999.
Wow, okay, great.
And we specialize in motivating consumer behavior and connecting online and offline activities. And we do that through promotions to spark interest, loyalty programs to really retain and reward consumers, and then really via multiple channels with a focus on the mobile channel, providing us really a full suite of tools to really allow you to connect to consumers on handheld devices where they are in retail, at restaurants, really capturing that consumer at that point of purchase.
That's great. I mean, it's such an important service, isn't it, Meredith? Because that is not so easy to do, is it? Particularly, if someone's starting their own pizza place, to do their own mobile, marketing campaign is just it is not so easy to do. It's not like mailing out like a direct marketing campaign or something like that, is it?
Exactly. And our clients come to us sort of with their challenge. So they're trying to get their consumer to engage with the brand. Maybe they want data acquisition. They want to find out who are those consumers, how can they talk to those consumers, and we work with them to find a solution based on many years of experience, and we've actually done over 12,000 campaigns across 800-plus clients in 27 different verticals and also in 44 countries. So we're the largest interactive promotions agency really in the world.
That's incredible. I saw, and I don't know whose website it was on, but I wrote it down. It says something like 74 million Americans have opted to get text from marketers. Is that accurate? Or?
Yeah.
That's incredible. I didn't realize it was that many.
And it's emails and really SMS messages and really using the mobile devices are increasing, and we're finding that consumers are more likely to open an SMS message even than an email. It's behavior that they're doing constantly on their phone.
That's fantastic. How did you get involved with Mellow Mushroom, Meredith?
Through our relationship with the Coca-Cola Company.
Oh, okay.
We've been working with the Coca-Cola Company for almost 9 years, helping them with their promotions and their different interactive engagement programs. And through our relationship, they introduced us to Mellow, and together we worked on this campaign, the Share Happiness campaign.
That's fantastic. Annica, what prompted you to decide to, have more of a mobile presence? I mean, was it market research? Was it just kind of like analyzing the marketing environment you see everyone on their cell phones today?
Right. I think a couple of things. First, to your last point, I think we all just intuitively know that the world has gone mobile, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's I guess just a fairly obvious marketing observation that we made, but then also looking at our own brand in terms of our website and our analytics to our page. As of June of this year, we have more people coming in through mobile than we did through traditional.
That's fascinating, isn't it? When I saw that, I said, my God.
Yes, exactly. So, so for us, that was, kind of an eye-opening moment. And then we also did another campaign earlier this year, which had a mobile-based component to it, and we saw much higher response rates through the mobile than through the desktop option. So, we just kind of knew then that we were on to something that really would resonate with, most particularly with our guests. Like I said, just separate and aside from what we all see in the outside world.
It is. It truly is fascinating. And it's one of the things, is really excited to interview you because, again, a lot of people that are getting into franchising, some of them are, I have to say, like older, but I mean, if they're in the, 50s and 60s, they don't necessarily really even understand all this mobile stuff yet, do they? You know what I mean? So they kind of get that benefit of this service without really even knowing how to use it, right?
That's right. That's exactly right. I mean, to me, it's our job to understand who the consumer is and to be able to provide this kind of services and campaigns to our franchisees that are relevant based on our consumer data. Because obviously they're very busy just trying to deliver the in-store experience. So it's really up to us to add those things on that enhance our consumer engagement in a really experiential kind of way.
That's true. That's well said. What are the customers like? I mean, how do you describe the customers to Mellow Mushroom?
At Mellow, we're actually pretty fortunate because we have a fairly broad demographic base. But our largest and most prime target is 35 to 49-year-old, slightly skewed male, college graduate or higher. We have just about as many people who have graduate degrees that are our guests as we do college degrees, and an income of over $100,000. So, we're really lucky. We really benefit from a nice, affluent consumer base that is really responsive to the types of messages that mobile campaigns deliver.
That's great.
And obviously, to that consumer, time is a premium too. So mobile is really important.
Absolutely. It sounded like an experience, too. I was kind of picturing it, as I was looking on the Internet, it seems to me like Mellow Mushroom is also, in addition to the product, I mean, it's an experience, I imagine, when you go in as well, isn't it?
Yes, it is. We really consider ourselves to be a very highly experiential concept. And again, obviously the food is first and foremost. People are there to eat. But we put a lot of emphasis on art and music, and actually every Mellow Mushroom is different. They're all designed unique from the ground up. So if you've been to one Mellow, you've been to one Mellow. And people, our guests get a lot of enjoyment out of seeing different Mellows and really kind of taking it all in. And there are certain things that are required of every location, but the design and the art and the feeling that you get, it can be completely different from location to location.
That's fantastic. It sounds like you're going to be doing more campaigns, I guess, with Meredith and ePrize, it sounds like, Annica.
Yeah, I would say so. We were definitely very pleased with the results that we got, and I think that the ePrize team was too. We exceeded their benchmarks, so I think it was really considered a dramatic success for all of us. And this was our first turn with ePrize. We knew of them and had considered them for some other things, and through our relationship with Coca-Cola, they really kind of gelled everything together. And,
sure.
I have to say we feel like it was really a strong success. And kind of to your point earlier, these are fairly complicated campaigns, if you will. There's a lot of parts and pieces going on. It's not really something that you can just sort of gin up on your own. So it's really great to have their expertise because they operate in so many different businesses too. So you can really kind of ask, well, what are other people doing, or what's going on here, what are you seeing? So it's great to have a subject matter expert.
Absolutely. Meredith, what's next for ePrize? Where, how far is this technology going? I mean, it just seems like, I guess, more people are using their mobile devices today. So are you allowed to say about, what changes are taking place, with your industry?
Yeah, so ePrize, our company, actually, we've been on a bit of a acquisition tear over the past 18 months, and we've actually acquired 5 different companies. So it started in 2012. We acquired a mobile company to bring all of the mobile capabilities in-house. And then since then, we purchased a live events company, another promotion platform company, and then one of our competitors, promotions.com. So we're taking a break from the acquisitions and taking a look at what we have acquired. and really continuing to build out our platform, our loyalty platform, our mobile CRM platform, and really just making sure that as new technology comes out, like Vine for Twitter, or, when Pinterest came out, when the different channels, kind of the social channels explode, make sure that what we have works with the newest and what's out there, and then really just continuing to, refine our platform and keep it nimble enough to interact with these new technologies.
That's fantastic. Annica, what's next for the Mellow Mushroom brand? I mean, where do you see it, maybe, 3 years down the road?
Yeah, definitely. One thing that we're really looking at right now, and one thing that was great from a strategic perspective about this campaign is we're in the process of developing, and we're sort of in the early goings, but we want to develop a global loyalty program for our guests. Mm-hmm. And so that's one thing that was really important about this campaign, is it really did give us some idea, like I said, strategically of at what velocity we could expect our consumers to respond, and how important is it that be a mobile-based technology. And I think this campaign taught us, obviously, it's going to be critically important. So, it's great for us to get really some of the strategic directives that will help kind of frame out that global Mellow Mushroom loyalty program. That's one of our bigger initiatives that we want to really, make sure that we develop it in an appropriate way, and that it's really what our consumer wants. So we're putting a lot of emphasis on that right now. And then just as a brand in whole, we've got several new units coming on. We got 5 restaurants opening in the next 60 days. So that's always, a fun and exciting time for us, too. So, as the brand grows, we want to also grow our consumer engagement and the things that we're doing there.
That's great. So you probably get to meet some of the franchisees, Annica, I imagine. I mean, what are they like? I mean, what are their, backgrounds or any traits that you've noticed that they possess?
Yeah, well, we have, like a lot of franchise systems, of course, we do have a lot of people in our system from, a wide variety of backgrounds. But certainly, we're starting to see a lot of people come in who have been pretty high-level business executives in other more corporate-type environments, and now want to go into business for themselves. And then they're fairly sophisticated business people, quite frankly, and they have, They may be involved in the operations of the restaurant, but typically they're hiring, again, a fairly sophisticated operator to run things for them and looking to do multi-unit deals and, have several Mellow Mushrooms in their portfolio. And we have some people who have come in who also own other restaurant concepts and are looking to diversify a little because, there aren't a tremendous amount of casual dining franchise opportunities out there. As you probably know, so that's we feel like we have a fairly sophisticated franchisee.
That's great. When you come into Eastern Pennsylvania?
Hopefully in the not too distant future. Definitely, we're in Washington D.C. and we're in Southern Virginia, so we're certainly creeping up to that area.
Getting closer, yeah. It's fantastic. What's the best way for our listeners, Annica? I'll start with you, to get more information on becoming a Mellow Mushroom franchisee or anything involving the brand? Any websites they should go to?
Absolutely. They can go to mellowmushroom.com. They can learn everything about the brand from soup to nuts there.
That's fantastic. And Meredith, what about ePrize? Any websites they should go to?
Yeah, absolutely. ePrize.com. We'll have all the information, and they can also send me an email directly at meredith.hillman, HILLMAN, at ePrize.com.
That's fantastic. I want to thank both of you again, Meredith and Annica. It was a pleasure to have you on the show, and I'd already like to invite you back next year as you continue to grow and do all these fantastic marketing campaigns. I think they're wonderful.
Thank you so much. Love to join you.
Thanks, Meredith. Thanks, Annica. And we'll be right back with more franchise interviews.
Thank you.
Franchisers, are you looking to reach aspiring entrepreneurs looking to buy a franchise? Are you looking to reach a highly educated audience on franchising? For over 6 years, Franchise Interviews has been giving an up-close, behind-the-scenes look at franchising and entrepreneurship through our website, franchiseinterviews.com, where you can hear and read interviews as well as get tips from some of the most successful sources in franchising. Our weekly franchise radio show where each week you get to hear a new interview with franchisers, franchisees, franchise authors, franchise experts, and attorneys, and our podcast, Great Quotes in Franchising. For more information, go to franchiseinterviews.com or call us at 610-905-2919. That's 610-905-2919.
Need a business loan? Talk to Diamond Financial Services, the experts in franchise financing nationwide. Whether you're looking to start a franchise, acquire an existing franchise, or expand your territory through opening new locations, Diamond Financial stands by your side start to finish. From pre-qualification to packaging and presenting your application to securing a financial commitment and through the loan closing process, Diamond Financial is there. While you're waiting, thousands of others are making their financial dreams come true. Don't wait any longer. Pre-qualify now by completing a confidential, no-obligation financial analysis. Let's face it, traditional banks just aren't in the business of financing small business. At Diamond Financial, we specialize in securing franchise loans from $100,000 to $3 million and equipment leasing up to $150,000. Let us help you get started. Go to www.franchisefunding.net or call 877-508-2274. That's franchisefunding.net, 877-508-2274.
Hi everyone, this is Marty McDermott from Franchise Interviews, and welcome to another edition of Great Quotes in Franchising. For each podcast you get to hear a great quote in franchising. You know, Don and I have been hosting Franchise Interviews now for almost 2 years with 100 shows under our belt, and during that time frame we've had some incredible quotes from the guests that have been on our show. If you're a frequent listener to our weekly radio show, then you know what fans Don and I are of the great Michael Gerber, author of the very successful E-Myth Revisited and Awakening the Entrepreneur Within. What's even more amazing is how often Michael's name has come up from our guests in the past 2 years. So you're going to hear from the great Michael Gerber in just a moment. And for the first time on Blog Talk Radio, Franchise Interviews is giving franchisors a unique opportunity to sponsor our weekly radio show. You can have a professionally recorded commercial on our live as well as archive shows. And here's a quick message from our sponsor, and then again the great Michael Gerber. Enjoy.
Franchise Interviews. For over 2 years now, Franchise Interviews has been giving you an up-close, behind-the-scenes look at franchising and entrepreneurship.
Through our website, franchiseinterviews.com, where you can hear and read interviews as well as get tips from some of the most successful sources in franchising.
And our weekly franchise radio show, where each week you get to hear a new interview with franchisors, franchisees, franchise authors, experts, and attorneys.
And our free franchise newsletter, which is a must-read for anyone looking to buy a franchise.
And don't forget to listen to our podcast, Great Quotes in Franchising. For more information, go to franchiseinterviews.com or call us at 610-905-2919.
That's 610-905-2919.
Which, by the way, I'm now reading again for the second time. I recommend everybody out there, it's been a while since they've read the E-Myth, to read it again. It's really a great little refresher because people seem to forget about things over time, Michael.
I've got guys, I swear, Don, who tell me they pull out the E-Myth Revisited every year. Mm-hmm. One gentleman I spoke to, the founder of an extraordinary company, 1-800-GOT-JUNK, mm-hmm. who's a franchisor.
Right.
He credits the E-Myth with the creation of his company, and he credits the E-Myth with the continued vitalization of his company and the growth of his company, they now have a few more than 300 franchisees around the world. The guy is less than 40. He's the CEO of this company. He started by driving a truck, picking up junk, read the book, read the E-Myth Revisited, and suddenly saw the light. And the product of that is a company which last year did $147 million in gross revenue and has the expectation of reaching $1 billion in revenue in the next 8 years. So the man's on path, and he takes the E-Myth out every year and reads it again and insists that every one of his management team reads the book. And in fact, I'm the keynote at his annual event in March. So I'll be in Vancouver addressing 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Right. The show we had last week, Michael, with the CEO and president of a franchise opportunity called Desert Moon, Gary Okigrasso, he spoke about you for like 10 minutes during the show. I mean, it's just amazing the impact that you've had in the franchise community. I mean, your name comes up every other show. Thank you.
And, you know, I don't know 90% of these people, so I hear what this guy says and this guy says and that guy. It's really quite extraordinary to me because I don't know these people.
Exactly. I can't imagine, you know, what kind of fuel you have. I mean, I don't know how you go to bed at night, Michael. I mean, changing the story you told about, you know, the young gentleman, you know, being depressed and stuff like that. I mean, the kind of fuel that you must get from that kind of situation must be incredible for you.
It is. It's absolutely extraordinary, and life is simply an array of infinite options, and they're continually showing up. Absolutely. They're constantly showing up. I can't imagine how anybody could feel limited or deprived of opportunity when there is so much more opportunity than any single one of us could possibly deal with. And I see it every single day in my mind. There's one, there's one, there's one. Why doesn't anybody do that? Why doesn't anybody do that? It's extraordinary when you begin to experience the entrepreneur within, and anybody, any single person on the face of this earth can experience it if they begin the process right. And that's what I'm committed to.
Absolutely. And the title is great, too, Michael. You know, how you added, in addition to how ordinary people create extraordinary companies without any experience to guide them. You were one of those people. I think you referenced Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Michael Dell. I mean, all these guys really didn't have this significant experience in business. It was all based on a dream or their imagination.
Exactly. They had no experience in business. Bill Gates wasn't a business guy.
Right.
Bill Gates didn't work for a living. Bill Gates went to Harvard and then dropped out. Michael Dell didn't have any experience when he started his business. Nobody, no great entrepreneur has necessarily had any business experience at all. They simply imagined a result that they saw was absolutely needed in the world, and then they invented the answer to that problem in a business. Well, anybody can do that.
Right.
And in the book, Awakening the Entrepreneur Within, I take you step by step through the golden process through which any company can be started from scratch in your garage. And I'm essentially saying, if your car is parked in your garage, move it out and start a business.
Exactly, absolutely.
And this book of top entrepreneurs are never satisfied. I mean, in chapter 3 of your book, I thought it was great. You talk about you woke up one day and you had nothing to do. Personally, I mean, that's my dream, to wake up one day and have nothing to do, but just for a day before I get back to business. But, you know, of course, yourself being a top entrepreneur, you just weren't satisfied with that. You know, you had to, take that next step and, and do something great again, and that's what you did, obviously, with this book.
Yeah, well, and you got to understand, when I say I had nothing to do, I had everything to do, but I didn't have to do it.
Right.
In other words, I didn't have to go out and earn a living anymore.
True.
But I do. I didn't have to go out and speak anymore, but I do continuously. I didn't have to go out and write another book. My books are among the top 5 business books ever published in the world. E-Myth Revisited sells more books every year than it sold before. It's the most extraordinary phenomenon. So I didn't have to do anything. There's nothing that caused me to go out and create the dreaming room other than my fertile imagination. And I'm simply saying what an extraordinary place to live in the imagination, because one can begin to imagine a world unlike the world we live in and then take it upon yourself to invent it. And that's all it is, inventing it. Everybody invents every single day of their life. The problem is most of us invent the past.
True.
I'm about inventing the future.
Right. And this book precedes the E-Myth, Michael, so I guess everybody who has read the E-Myth is going to have to read Awakening the Entrepreneur Within as well.
Your lips to God's ears.
There you go.
Thanks, everyone, for listening to Branch Ice Interviews, and we'll see you again next week with another edition of Branch Ice Interviews. Take care, everyone.